Well, Hurricane Beryl has made history multiple times over already, being only the second storm of this season. It's coming in late June. It's pretty typical to see one or two storms between June and July. Usually the average third storm comes by August 3rd, so we are just a slight bit ahead of schedule, but it blasted through the Turks and Caicos over the last couple of days, and this is some of the aftermath that we're seeing behind that storm. And of course, a lot of people are still working on repair now and just still reeling from this storm. Of course, around the St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I should say, is where it came through. They've never had a Category 4 hurricane on that series of islands, so this is something that they've never truly seen in recorded history. Now, we do have more hurricane warnings already out across Jamaica and the Cayman Islands as this storm will be pushing through over the next day. So Wednesday through the afternoon will probably be going through the Jamaica area. Will it be a landfall? It's difficult to say where the eye itself will go, but eventually it will very likely make landfall along the Yucatan Peninsula. Here's what it looks like right now. Winds are at 150 miles per hour. Pressure is down to 943, so it has filled a little bit. Winds have slowed some, but you can see right around that eye, we've got that loop of some thunderstorms that are just continuing to blow up more and more and more. It will still likely be a Category 3 by the time it's coming through the Jamaica area, Category 1 into the Yucatan, and then eventually making landfall a third time as it goes up towards the Gulf Coast. Now, the wind history brought it up to 165 miles per hour. That forecast is bringing it down, and it will be setting even more records probably by the time it's done.
Right now, the Mid-South certified most accurate forecast.
Well, a beautiful view of the bridge, I-40, going over the Mississippi River this evening. When I've been sitting over in the Weather Center between hits here, I've just been watching the sun slowly fade here. You can still see a little bit of color on the horizon, but the sun has set and it is starting to slip down beyond the horizon. The thing is, we are starting to see that late sunset get earlier and earlier now that we're a week or so past the solstice. Now, Memphis, 86 degrees this evening. It is on the warmer side tonight. Some cooler spots though. Corinth, Oxford, just into the upper 70s already. Look around the metro in the region here. We've got 80 degrees up in Dyersburg. It's 81 in Covington. Forest City at 79 degrees. Truman at 80 degrees. Oxford, like we said, you're sitting at 79 and 81 down south in Clarksdale. So most of us are cooler than Memphis is. We've got a little bit of that urban heat island effect going on, but all of us are above where we were just 24 hours ago. We've had that heat really building in the last 24 hours, and that's going to stick around here for the next couple of days. High pressure is to blame. Of course, it brings nice clear blue skies, but it also brings sinking air, so very few clouds forming to bring us a little bit of relief there in the mid-afternoon. There's all those storms we've seen from that upper level low across parts of the mid-plains there. Now, as we go through the next day or so, we're not really going to be looking at any rain chances. This model tends to be a little aggressive with the pop-up afternoon shower. I don't think it's going to really look like this, so don't pay it too much mind. But as we get into Thursday, it gets more aggressive, so even if we dial it back some, it's still looking like we will see some pop-up afternoon thunderstorms, and then this is Friday night, or early Friday morning, I should say. Thursday night, we've got a line of storms that could be blowing through. That's just after we wrap up all of that 4th of July thing. Now, the thing is, whenever you have 4th of July and all those fireworks, sometimes the morning after you can have really poor air quality. This will certainly help. That rain will help to wash out all of that smoke. Now, the thing is, we've got this high pressure in the area, and that's been keeping us hot. It's also been keeping Hurricane Beryl at bay. It's going to keep directing it towards the west rather than it coming back up. But this high and that low are still going to funnel in a lot of humidity as we get into early next week. So we'll be contending with that. Even though we might have a cool down slightly, it's still going to be humid. Overnight, we're dropping down only into the mid-70s, so a warm night on the way. 90s for our high tomorrow. And we do have a heat warning in effect for parts of West Tennessee, Mississippi, and in through most of Arkansas. Heat indices are likely to be 110 or higher, so it is going to be a very hot day indeed. Take a look at your 7-day forecast. There's a bit of that cool down I was mentioning, only into the low 90s and maybe 80s return, Rudy. I'm sure you'll be enjoying that on Tuesday.
You bet I will be. All right, thanks a lot, Kit.